Good. How are you? What's that belt behind you?
Oh, that's a WWE Championship. So
Oh,
signed by John Cena and a couple of my favorites. So
cool.
always a
Cool.
nice
I,
statement
I,
piece
I
to
love
have.
John. I did a movie with him.
Yes, I know. And I know that obviously you've worked with some of Hollywood's all-time great leading men, including John Cena and now Chris Pratt. So how long have you wanted to work with Chris and get him on board for a movie as great as this?
Oh, a long time. I've been a
Yeah.
fan. I would say I've been a fan since he did his TV show. And then I kept, occasionally meeting him on the fly or because I'd worked on a number of movies with James Gunn. And so Chris has obviously done many movies with James Gunn and stuff. I would go to a premiere or a screening or whatever. I would bump into him and I just was always a big fan. I felt that he could be every man, but also he could be really cool, you know, even though he doesn't have to be perfect, right? He could be physical. Um, he's just a very special guy. And he also gives audiences a lot of reasons to like him and root for him, but he recognized that he still has flaws as a character.
Yeah, absolutely. I think perfectly said. And you've been part of so many big franchises like DC, but this is an original film. It's high concept sci-fi. So why is it important for you to, balance those big, well-known IPs with a new property like this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's really great. Look, I mean, I had a wonderful, wonderful DC run working with really great directors, from Chris and working with his wife Emma and Zack Snyder and James Gunn and and you know doing Wonder Woman. That was really a great experience with Patty Jenkins. So, I've been very, very fortunate, but it's also great to have something that's you're creating the brand, right? As part of the DC, I was hoping to actually, expand the brand, if you will, into even though they had made movies, although we had never made a Suicide Squad movie before, and we had never made a Wonder Woman movie before, and we almost made a Batman versus Superman movie before, but we didn't. So those are all fresh, right? Um, and so that's a wonderful thing to do, but those all came from something, right, that already had a lot of premature. um, this didn't. This was an invention by this fabulous writer Marco van Bell. And when he talked about this was already about 3 or 4 years ago that we started the process of developing this. And people were talking about AI, but not like what's happening now. Okay. So all of a sudden, when we were in post production on the movie, it just like exploded. And I'm going, well, this couldn't be more relevant than today. So that was exciting and is exciting.
Yeah, well, it is such a timely, relevant film, and it's a very unique film with the 3D. There was a time after Avatar where we were getting a lot of, I think, quite quick 3D transfers, but this one uses the format so well.
Exactly.
So how blown away were you when you sat down to watch this thing? Because I loved it.
So I saw the test because actually we shot an IMAX. And so that was thrilling enough, right? But the guy by the name of Namit Malhotra, who owns DNEG, who did most, actually, I think he did all of his company DNEG did all of the visual effects on the movie. As we were finishing, he said, Chuck, I think you should make this movie in 3D. You should convert it into 3D. So, I'm not really that big a 3D fan. I've seen movies in 3D. I'm not really that big of 3D. He said, let me do a test for you. So I then went to the Culver screen that MGM owns, and it blew my mind. And I said, this is fucking great TV. I mean, this is fucking great 3D. Okay. It's amazing. And he put his money where his mouth is, and he said, "You know what? I'll bank it." So, and then we showed it to MGM, both, all of the creative executives, starting with Courtney Valente, and they just loved it. Courtney and Julie and Sue Kroll. It was great.
Well, amazing. Well, Chuck, thank you so much for taking the time. I'm such a fan of so many films that you've produced, from the DC to Oppenheimer to Mercy, which I think audiences are going to love. So thank you so much. It's been such an honor speaking to you.
Well, Josh, thank you so much for giving me that great feedback. You put a big smile on my face.
My pleasure. Thanks so much, Chuck. Have a great day.